we're just going to start by connecting to our breath. This is a pretty traditional way that we start our practice. And we do this to form the connection from the very beginning so that as we start to move through our practice and we engage our core and kind of come into more dynamic movements, we've already established this connection to ourselves and let us drop into a space that prioritizes how you feel, starting to listen to your body tonight, and being able to respond appropriately as we build into our practice today. So you could let your eyes close or just steady the gaze and let the arms rest wherever they're comfortable. Let's bring a little attention to the spine. You can wave it like a blade of grass in the wind, and just to help bring your attention from the very tip of the tailbone, starting to connect to your breath, and let the spine wave up through the back, up into the neck, and inviting a sense of spaciousness and length as you sit up nice and tall, and letting that movement subside, and just feeling the stack of head, heart, and hips. You can become aware if you're leaning forward, leaning backwards, and finding that space right in the middle. And bring your attention to your belly as you take your next few breaths. Inhale and inflate your belly like a balloon. And exhale, gently draw the belly button towards the spine, pressing the air out. Inhale and inflate. Exhale and gently press it out. Find this cycle on your own for the next few breaths. And you might start to notice some areas of the body that perhaps feel a little tense. You just really have the opportunity to start to notice whatever is here for you today. You also might notice that there's a little effort in the breath at first, right? To find that pattern. Maybe this is the first conscious breath that you took today, so it requires just a little effort to find that connection, to make that connection. Once you've established that, once you start paying attention, see if you can take your next few breaths with just a little more ease, a little less force on both the inhale and the exhale. Allowing your awareness to just observe that breath coming in and that breath releasing. Notice if any muscles of the face are tight or crunching or cringing, and with your awareness, allow that to soften. We'll begin to move with our breath here with just 3 sun breaths. So you can let your arms come to the sides. Open your eyes if you'd like. And inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms touch at the top. And exhale, release the arms and let those fingers drift down towards the earth. Connect that with the pace of your breath. Inhale. At the top of that inhale, the hands touch. Exhale, and at the bottom of that breath, fingers touch the mat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. With the hands behind you, bring the feet to the mat. Actually, let's just bring the hands into gentle fists here and begin to tap on your chest or to thump on your chest, almost like a gorilla, right? It's like we're doing some kind of proud call here. And let your breath deepen in through the nose and out through the mouth as you tap down the ribs, to the side of the ribs. A little lighter tap as you come over the belly. And then tapping down the outsides of the legs. You can do open palm over the knees. Tapping down the calves and Tap down your feet, open palms on the feet. Deep breath and start to tap up the inseam of the legs, on the calves, inside of the knees, inside of the calves. Coming back onto the belly, finding the pressure that feels right to you. Back up to the chest and go down one arm. Open palm on the hand. Flip the palm up and come back up the arm. Across the chest. Switch sides, go down the back of the arm. Flip the palm and come back up. Deep breaths. Right onto the chest again and take one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And shake out the arms and bring them behind you. And just notice how your body feels after waking it up with a little tapping. We do this a lot in our energy flow practice, but I wanted to give you just a little energetic wake up tonight. And we're gonna also bring that energy into the feet. So you can start pounding your feet. This one always makes me feel like a kid. And it actually, it really requires you to let go. Let your feet really pound onto the mat. Don't be afraid to make a little noise. And take a nice big breath. Pause the movement. Good. And we're just going to windshield wiper the knees. So you can space your feet a little wider and then just let one knee drop to the center and the other out. And switch. If it still feels good, you can breathe out through the mouth. And the purpose for this energetic wake up that we just did is to help release. If there was any tension built up through the day, if there were any moments where you needed to say something and you didn't, or something happened and it stressed you out, if you didn't have the opportunity to release, that stress can really get built in the body. So you just want to find a practice that can help us release that. Those exhales out the mouth can help, but also that tapping and just pounding the feet, deep breathing, all of that will help release. Okay, pause that movement, bring the soles of the feet together, and extend your arms out in front of you, coming into a modified boat pose. Lean back onto your seat just a little bit, finding that balance point. And if you'd like to take it a step further today, lift up one shin, connect to your breath, maybe the other shin. Lower the feet to the mat, and we're going to go through a little core flow here. So let's start. Extend the right leg, extend the left leg. Step the right foot out, step the left foot out. Step the right foot in, step the left foot in. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee. Lean back, find your balance point. Lift the right shin, lift the left shin. Lower right foot, lower left foot. Extend the left foot, extend the right foot, find your posture. Left foot steps out, right foot steps out. Left foot steps in, right foot steps in. Bend the left knee, bend the right knee. Find your balance point. Good. Lift the left shin, lift the right shin. Lower left foot, lower right foot. Lift your arms up to the sky and let the knees open wide. Find that cobbler's pose, and then let your hands come down to your feet and take a little fold over the shins and over the toes. Connect to your breath here as you let yourself fold. Let the back of the neck relax. And finding the movement in the spine as you breathe. It's sort of like a wave, right? So as you inhale, it's like this rising up of a wave, the rising up of your spine. And as you exhale, it's like that wave crashing back down, folding a little deeper. Inhale and lift all the way up. Bring your hands to your knees, draw them together. Hold on to the backs of the legs, and we're gonna roll along the length of the spine. So curl it down and then find a little momentum, rocking backwards and forwards. A little more of that childlike play. And the next time you come forward, cross your ankles, bring the hands in front of you, and step back into tabletop. Awesome. Let a breath come out through the mouth if that feels good. We're just going to let the hips bump side to side, finding little C curve through the spine. Look over one shoulder and the other as you wag the tail. Then pause right in the middle. Inhale, look forward, lower the belly, cow. Exhale, press into the hands and shins, round the back for cat. Inhale, lower belly, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, tuck chin and tailbone, cat. Just one more time. Inhale, open the chest. Imagine your heart's like a spotlight forward. Exhale, round it out, draw belly button to the spine. Then come into tabletop. Extend your right foot back and rock a little bit forward backwards. Let's just stretch the bottom of that right foot and all through the calf. Get a little movement through the wrists. And notice if your breath is still here with you. So finding these moments to check in periodically through your practice, just make sure your breath is following with you, or rather that you're following the breath. Then pause that movement, lift the right heel, extend your spine, the crown of the head's forward, lift the left arm, finding your balance. Stabilize here, drawing the belly button up and pressing into the hand on the mat. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee, curl it in underneath. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Move with your breath one more time. Exhale, extend, and we're going to come into a side plank from here. So you can bring your left hand down, right foot comes onto the back edge of your mat, pivot your left foot out like a kickstand, and then extend your right arm up to the sky, lift all the way up. Make sure not to collapse into that left arm. Right, so lifting all the way up, finding lots of space between the hands. And if you'd like to add on here, you can lift that back leg. One more option to add on here, elbow to knee 3 times as you crunch it in and extend it out. Exhale and inhale. One more if you've got it today. We'll stretch those hips later. Reach it out. And then bring yourself back into tabletop. Lower the foot, release, and come back to center. You can let your hips bump a little side to side again, wag the tail. If you need to, take that big audible breath, let it go. We'll switch sides, finding a stable tabletop. Extending the left foot back, toes on the mat to start, and rock a little forward backwards. Pause the movement, lift the left heel. Extend the right arm. Find the stability here, tap into your strength. And then begin to move with your breath, inhaling into this length. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale, curl it in. One more time. Exhale, extending out. Keep the back leg long as you bring the toes to the mat, side plank other way. Right foot pivots out like a kickstand and lift that left arm overhead. Energize that top hand, right? So really spread out through the fingers. You can even feel your hands stretching here. Option to lift the left foot. And one more option to add on. Doesn't make it better or worse. Just see what works for you tonight. 3 times into that side crunch. Let your breath guide you. Good. Bring it back down. Find your tabletop. You can wag your tail and then sit back into child's pose, bringing the big toes together, knees a little wider, extending the arms forward and letting your forehead rest on the mat. Now really connect to that belly breathing here again. Let your breath in this posture offer you a stretch all through the back body, stretching out through the side body like gills of a fish as you breathe. Stretching even the belly as you inflate. With each exhale, bringing you back to center. Each exhale giving you a softening, a release. Start to tune in to those qualities of your breath, what the inhale offers you, and what the exhale offers you. Let's find our way into downward facing dog. So as you're ready, you can come through tabletop, hands spread wide, tuck your toes, and lift the hips coming into that inverted V shape. And you can pedal the feet here, or walk your dog. Finding a breath that feels really good to you, finding movement that feels really good. Maybe you let the hips move a bit or bend the knees a lot. You can come high onto the toes and reach the heels down. And then inhale to come forward into plank pose. Let's get nice and strong here, feeling your quads engaged, the thighs are lifting up, pressing away from your yoga mat. Softening the muscles of the face because they aren't helping you hold the pose. Unless it's a smile, you can keep a smile. Take one more breath in, shift forward just an inch onto your toes, and then lower down, chaturanga. You always have the option to lower the knees to build that foundation. Let's come through a baby cobra, anchor into the tops of the legs, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, lower the head, press into the hands, tabletop, tuck the toes, downward dog. There's never a rush to get from posture to posture. And I just want to remind all of us that all of this is yoga, right? Everything in between, not just getting from one destination to the other, but it's about how you move in between as well. So never feel that there's a rush to get anywhere. Feel it out, let your breath carry you. And this is a perfect example in this next transition. So we're going to take a little walk to the front of our mat and just enjoy this walk, taking baby steps, feet coming to hands, and eventually releasing into a forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like. Hold on to opposite elbows and let the torso sway side to side. Nice deep yogic breaths in and out through the nose. Let the head hang heavy. And release the elbows. Bend the knees so you come into like a chair pose and gaze forward. Let's just let that blood rebalance. We've been sort of inverted here for a moment, so to prevent us from being too lightheaded when we rise. And then using the strength of your legs, let's rise all the way up, slowly, slowly. Press into the feet. Let the arms reach up. Exhale, Tadasana. Hands come down to your sides at your own pace. And let yourself land in mountain pose. I'm going to get a little neck stretch here before we move on. Actually, we'll do a little arms and neck movement here. So let's bring the arms up into a T. Palms start facing down. And ground into your feet and your legs. Pay attention to the body below the arms. We'll start to circle forward with the arms. Keeping the lower body pretty stable, we're going to isolate this movement in the shoulders. Pause that movement, turn your circles backwards. Pause that movement, flip the palms up, and now bring your attention to the body from the arms up, lifting your chest. Maybe you lift your gaze a little bit and just inviting all this energy into the palms from above. And lift your arms all the way overhead. Grab a hold of your left wrist. Keep your feet really grounded here and reach up and over, side bend. Take 3 breaths here. You might let that hip move to the left a little bit as long as you can stay grounded into your feet. And release through center and switch sides. Hold onto the other wrist. Think more up and then over. Keep that right shoulder open. Try not to fold inwards here. Fan open the ribs with the breath. Ground into both feet evenly. And then come up through center. You can release the arms down to the sides. And just loop your shoulders back a few times. Really easy here. Wiggle it all out. Shake your legs, shake your arms. And find your Tadasana again, grounding your feet. And let your right ear drop towards the right shoulder. Bring your right arm up and overhead, placing the right hand on the ear or on the top of the head. And this is not to pull or to force here. We're just going to give a light weight into the stretch here. And if that's too much, just release the arm. Go to only to your extent. The important part here is to breathe. To notice where you might be holding tension, especially in the jaw and that long line of your neck, even down into that opposite shoulder. Now release the hand and bring it to your right ear. So you give yourself a little pillow. As you inhale, press the head into the hand and the hand into the head. Find that pressure in between. And as you exhale, soften that, relax. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, press head into hand into head. Exhale and soften. And 1 more time, meet the pressure. And soften. Guide the head back to center and release. Just notice maybe one side feels a little bit different than the other. So let's balance it out. We'll bring that left ear to left shoulder. Left arm comes overhead, resting on the ear, not to pull or tug, just to rest. Deepen your breath. Tune into your own body. Notice what's going on here. Maybe you make some micro adjustments so you can breathe a little more fully. And bring the left hand to the left ear. As you inhale, press head into hand into head. As you exhale, soften that pressure. 2 more times on your own. Press the head back to center. Extend the arms to a T. Bring the left arm across the chest and hook the right arm around that forearm. Let's get an easy shoulder stretch here. Can you let it be this simple? Notice how your body responds. Are you trying to force? Sometimes in these simple poses is where we can really start to notice where our patterns are, especially if we're holding in the face or the jaw, or holding in the shoulders, or even the low back. You might be holding in the glutes. Switch, open the arms, and right arm comes across, hook the elbow. Let it be simple as you take your next few breaths. Follow your breath. Good, open it back up. Inhale, arms come all the way overhead. Exhale, step the feet a little wider apart. Toes can point out, heels in, and bring the hands down to the thighs. Fingers point in. Now dip your left shoulder to the center of the mat and look over your right shoulder. We're going to encourage you to deepen the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 breaths here. And let out a little sound, right? Find that release again here. And as you inhale, come through center. Exhale, other way, right shoulder dips, look over the left shoulder. There's a link through the spine, deepen your breath. Have fun with the noise that comes out. Let it be authentic. And then come through center. As you inhale, round your back like cat. Exhale, look forward, drop the chest like cow. So we're reversing the breath here. Inhale, around the spine. Exhale, look forward. One more time. Inhale, cat. Exhale, look forward. With your next inhale, round it all the way up. Stand up. And exhale, walk your feet together. And if you're not already at the front of the mat, just take a little walk forward and find your Tadasana. We're going to start to move more into our flow here. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold all the way down. Let the head hang. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat and step back to downward dog. Inhale to come forward to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Option to lower the knees, come all the way or halfway down. Inhale to either that baby cobra, maybe up dog if you feel ready for it. Exhale, downward dog. Reach down those heels, let the head get heavy. Upper arms are externally rotated and anchoring into the index finger and the thumb. Connect to your breath. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it here. Actually more thigh to chest. Now drop the shin towards the mat and lift it back up. Do that 2 more times. Lower the shin and lift it back up. One more time, lower shin and lift it up. Now step your right foot through, finding your lunge. Lower the left knee and untuck the toe. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, low crescent lunge. Point the thumbs back and pinky fingers up, lengthening that back side of the arms. Deep breath as you let the hips drop. Maybe find a little back bend as you inhale. Very little back bend, right? It's not like we have to find a full wheel pose here. We're just lifting up through the heart. One more breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Tuck your back toe, lift the knee. Inhale, right arm to the sky, lunge twist. Exhale, right hand to the mat and step back into plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Let's move through a flow. Open chest. Inhale, cobra, up dog. You go to your extent. Exhale, downward dog. We'll go right into the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Now lower the shin and pick it back up. Lower the shin and pick it up. One more time because you can. Lower it and pick it up. Now step through between the hands and find your lunge. Lower that right knee. You're doing great. Inhale, lift up the arms and settle in here. Maybe invite a little smile into your face. Start to appreciate those nice deep breaths, especially as our muscles start to feel it a little more here as we really build into our strength. See if you can appreciate that depth of your breath, just feeding your body with so much oxygen and nutrients. And then exhale, release the hands down to the mat, tuck your toe, lift the knee. Inhale, left arm twist to the sky, just one breath. Exhale, left hand down, step back to plank. Option to move through your flow here or go straight to downward dog. Very nice. Letting your breath move you. Noticing if you've lost that connection of breath and body, and if you can bring them back together here. Bend the knees, look forward, walk, step, or maybe hop to the front of your mat and come into a forward fold. Good, sit the hips down and back. Let's use the strength of the legs to rise again. So coming through a chair pose and inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, Tadasana. Let's keep it moving. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Step back to downward dog. Inhale, round forward to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. You want to keep your chest open as you lower, so we're not grinding through the shoulders. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Bend your knee and open the hip as you exhale. Take one more breath here as you stack the hips. Some people like to find movement here, circling the ankle or the knee. It's just an option if that feels good. Then inhale and straighten the leg. Come back to that three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Really gonna build that arm and core strength today. Okay, drop the right knee to the right wrist. Just do the best you can and lift it up. Drop it down and lift it up. One more time, drop it down, lift it up. Extend your right leg all the way out. Inhale. Exhale, step through between the hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Pause it here for a moment. Connect with your breath. Now bring the palms together and let them come down towards the heart. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, twist to the right. Catch your left elbow on the outside of the knee. It helps to anchor into your back big toe mound. It's very, very common to fall out of balance here. So it all comes down to that anchoring in the feet here. Breathe. Let's come back to our crescent lunge. Move slowly, focused, anchor into your feet. Inhale, rise up with the arms. Exhale, release the hands and step back to plank pose. You can move through a flow if you want to keep building heat here, or go straight to downward dog. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take one more breath here. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Drop the knee to the wrist and pick it up. Drop and pick it up. And one more time. Pick it up, extend the leg, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, step through. Crescent lunge, anchor into your feet and rise up. Let shoulder blades run down the back. Connect to your breath. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. And I don't mean like, of course, we have strength here, right? Our muscles are working and we're strong. But I'm talking about the tension that isn't helping you hold the pose. Right? Can you become more efficient here? Maybe you become lighter in the arms, right? Maybe you find you're really straining in the shoulders and you just let the arms come a little lighter. Maybe it's the way you're holding your head and your neck. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhale and extend the crown of the head forward. And as you exhale, twist to the left. Catch the right elbow on the left knee. And then press into the hands, moving the chest around towards the thumbs. You can say to yourself, if you notice a spot that's like chronically getting tense in every pose, like for myself, I notice it sometimes in the base of my head or maybe in my jaw. And I can remind myself, you can remind yourself, maybe I don't need to hold that there. I'm just becoming more aware of it. Good, crescent lunge. Inhale, anchor into the feet. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Move through your flow or go straight to downward dog. See if your heels can reach a little lower than they have before. Just notice those changes, those shifts as you move through your practice. Make your way to the front of the mat, walk, step, or hop it forward, forward fold. Sit the hips down and back into a modified chair pose. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, Tadasana. Just shake it out a bit here. Find any organic movement that feels good to release. Maybe you pound those heels a little bit on the mat. If the wrists were feeling tender, maybe you circle them out a little bit. Just get some energy moving through. We'll find just one standing balance posture tonight. Bring your right hand or your right foot into your right hand behind you. Let's find our balance here. You want to make sure we're not jutting the hip out. If your balance feels really off today, or it might be too challenging to hold that, just place a hand on the wall. And we'll move into our dancer pose. So if you're not with the hand on the wall, you can extend the arm forward, left arm forward, and lean forward, kicking your foot into your hand, starting to open across the chest as you let your right shoulder roll open. And bring that left hand into a mudra, just connecting one of your fingers with the thumb. You can see which one feels right. We have lines of energy that run out through fingers and toes, and we can connect that energy here in a hand gesture. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. Shake it out. Switch sides as you're ready. Switch the balance to the other foot. Grab a hold of your left foot. Find your standing posture first, right? Hips are square. Extending your right arm or holding onto the wall. Kicking into the hand, finding a gentle back bend here. And it doesn't have to be super big, right? You don't have to come into this like extreme version of the pose like you might see on Instagram. Maybe the smaller version feels better today. The important part is that you connect with your breath. You connect with the sensation of this posture. That you have a sort of sturdiness. Release. Shake it out if you need to. Let's start to bring it down towards our mats. Sit back into a chair pose, arms come overhead. Now sweep the arms alongside the body and balance on your toes. Open across your chest. If you can, straighten the legs for diver's pose. It should feel like you're about ready to fall forward. That's the balance we play with here. Diver's pose, like we're about ready to dive into a mat. Good, rebend the knees, ground the heels, hands to the mat, and step back, downward dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Now, if you'd like to add on this time, we'll come into rock star pose. So you can let that right foot drip all the way behind you, finding foot on the mat. Beautiful, press into the hips, lift the arm. And to come out of the pose, lower your hips and swing yourself back around, downward dog. Good. Inhale, left leg comes up, bend the knee, open the hip. Rock star foot drips behind you. Start to trust yourself here. I promise you can find the ground. Inhale, lift your hips. Lower the hips to come out of the pose and back around, downward dog. Come forward to plank pose. We're getting lower and lower to the mat. Drop down to your forearms. Dolphin pose. Hips lift. Press forward through the forearms. Lower the knees. Child's pose. Let the elbows relax on the mat. And find that stretch of your breath. Breathe into your back body. Breathe into your side body. Breathe into your belly. Let the breath start to slow down here. Let the arms relax. Feel the weight of the head. And notice actually if you can bring just a little more length into the spine. Maybe you're good just as you are, but just notice if you can walk the forehead forward even a centimeter. Nice, deep, flowing breaths. Walk your hands back towards your shoulders and press yourself up to hero's pose, sitting on your heels. I'm going to use this as a transition. You can swing the legs out to the side. Bring the right knee in towards the chest and the left leg long for a seated twist. Hook the left arm around the shin. You can pause here, just hugging the leg in tight, or if you'd like to go a little further into that twist, you can bring the right hand behind you. One more option for that is maybe left elbow to the outside of the thigh. Perhaps the gaze goes over the back shoulder. Go to where you can breathe fully. And come back around through center and let that right knee drop open to the side. Take a forward fold here. So hips are square with the front of your mat and with your front foot. And bowing the forehead towards the shin. You can hold onto your foot or onto your calf. Notice if an audible exhale might feel good here. We're just letting go a little bit more. And slowly come back up and we'll switch sides. Right leg goes down the mat, left knee bends, and we'll start with our twist. So those right toes are pointed up, right? You have that right leg anchored into the mat. And a nice long spine as you find your twist. Inhale and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale to revolve just to your extent, keeping those right toes pointed up. And breathe into the body. If it feels tight, if it feels a little uncomfortable, it's probably a good opportunity to breathe here, to be here. Come back through center. Let the left knee go out to the side. Sitting up nice and tall, hinge from your hip, right? So fold as far as you can with a long spine, reaching the arms. And when you don't fold anymore, then just let the chin drop gently, reaching out through the crown of the head. Finding that wave-like quality through your spine. See if you can go a little deeper with those next few breaths, not by force, but just by moving into the space. And then lift yourself up. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. You might have to scoot yourself up a little bit, and let's roll all the way down. So you can hold on to the backs of the legs and draw the knees into the chest as you come down to the back. Give yourself a hug and maybe a little rock side to side. Place the soles of the feet on the mat close to your backside for bridge pose. Reach your fingers down so you can graze the backs of your heels with your fingers. That's about how close we want the heels. Then press into the feet and lift your hips into a gentle bridge pose. Option to hold onto the edges of your mat like you're pulling your part apart the mat, or interlace the hands behind the back and roll into the outer part of the shoulders. See if you can soften your glutes just a little bit. Right, relaxing underside of the legs. Bring your attention to your belly as you breathe. Option to add on here, you can lift your right leg up towards the sky. This is just an option. I'm going to show you we're going to come into the next pose a little differently if you don't take this option, so just go to your extent. You can lower your hips down to the mat, whether you have the leg lifted or not. And then we'll come into a figure four. So if you had that leg lifted, you can just bend it and cross the ankle over the left knee. If you came down through your bridge pose, of course, just pick it up and cross it over. And then thread your hands around the left thigh and draw this figure four shape in towards your chest. Allow yourself to surrender to the support underneath of you. Let your exhales become a little longer than the inhales. Keep the figure four shape, but bring the left foot back down to the earth. Let your arms come out to a T or a cactus shape, and both of the knees drip down to the right side into a twist. So that right foot is still on top of the left knee. Uncross the ankle from the knee, and then bring the knees back to center. Walk the heels close to your backside again to come into bridge pose, and the arms come down by your sides. Lift up the hips, coming back into bridge. Direct your attention to the belly breathing. Option to lift the left foot up towards the sky. And we'll find our figure four. So you can cross the ankle over the knee, lowering the hips down. So either way, either lowering the hips and then crossing, or doing that from the lifted leg. And then thread your hands around your right thigh and draw the shape in towards the chest. Drawing out the exhales. See what you might be able to soften as you exhale. Not only getting into the hips here and the obvious part of the stretch, but breathing in a way that affects your entire body, right? That communicates to your whole self. Let that right foot come back down to the mat. Arms can come out to a T or a cactus shape, and let both knees go to the left into a twist. Uncross the ankle from the knee. Bring the knees back to center and shoot the legs down the mat, coming into Shavasana, your resting pose. And let the arms rest wherever they're comfortable. Maybe you want to keep them in that wide shape today, or bring them down towards your side, or even rest the hands on the body somewhere. Letting your toes splay out, and if you need to, getting out any last fidgets. Let's take a deep breath here to release into the mat, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let your eyes close. And breath by breath, draw your attention inwards. Feel your eyes softening in the sockets. The cheeks melting, the skin of the cheeks melting down the sides. Let the lips part and your tongue relax, encouraging a softening in the jaw and in the back of the head and down through the neck. Notice the point where your shoulders meet the mat and see if you can let go just a little more. Gentle awareness on the flow of breath through your body. Feeling the heaviness of the arms. The alignment of your spine. Dropping weight into the hips and surrendering to that support of the floor and of your yoga mat. Sensing the weight of the legs all the way down to where the heels and the calves touch the mat. And sensing each one of your toes relax. Receiving the energy of the breath through the pinky toes, the fourth toe, middle toe, your first toe, and your big toe. Feel the whole backside of your body relaxed and heavy. Sense the whole front side of your body relaxed and light. And try your best, which is really doing as little as possible, just opening up your awareness to sense yourself in your wholeness, to sense your entire body, all of its muscles and organs and ligaments and tissues, every one of your cells, every hair on your head, sensing all of the energy within and around you, sensing that wholeness of you. Can you breathe into that wholeness? Can you receive the wholeness of that breath? Can you observe what it is to be in connection with mind and body and spirit? If you would like to stay here longer, I invite you to do so. If you need to move off your mat and carry on with the rest of your evening, and I invite you to gently start to move the toes and fingers, staying connected to your breath. Maybe you observe the breath starts to deepen as you move again. And whenever you're ready, you can bend your knees, staying connected to that wholeness, right? It stays with you as you start to move. You can roll over to your side and gently press yourself up to a cross-legged seat. And let yourself rise with eyes closed or soft. Just trust yourself to move here. Find that wholeness again as you come into your seat. If you felt a little separated from that, invite yourself back into that wholeness. Let's feel in our practice here, bringing our palms together and letting the thumbs come to the heart. A humble bow through the chin to close our practice in gratitude. Take our last breath together. And with a humble bow. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this evening. Wish you all a beautiful rest of your night, and I hope that you can drop right back into that place when you come to your bed tonight.